everybody, let me tell you, has in their dreams a dream home in Dubai.
Dubai has a good return on investment. It's between at least 6 to 8% on average you can earn. If you see the past track records, you see number one, India has been one of the major India being one of the major investors who are investing in.
I'm Dr. Naheed Khan. We are going to have a very special episode podcast on the real estate in Dubai and you being the real estate agent.
I am Muhammad Arshad Zubair. I am originally from Sri Lanka.
The people are getting golden visa also. Can you throw some light?
We see the golden visa having a major hype. Currently, in the applicants for the golden visa, there are almost 2 million people who are in the waiting list.
Assalamu alaikum, Arshad.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good.
I'm really grateful to you that you took out time and you are here. And today we are going to have a very special episode podcast on the real estate in Dubai and you being the real estate agent. We would be knowing more from you. And I'm so excited to have you and to bring to the audience this real subject matter because everybody, let me tell you, has in their dreams a dream home in Dubai. So just to introduce me to the audience, I'm Dr. Naheed Khan and I'm running my company in UAE, Peak Performance Solutions, and I'm a time management coach. I have my programs, Time and Money, and today I'm here hosting on behalf of Me Too Solutions, and I have Arshad here. So welcome once again. So Arshad, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience about yourself. Thank you.
I need to thank, first of all, Dr. Naheed Khan for coming here as a presenter. And so I am Muhammad Arshad Zubair. I am originally from Sri Lanka. Grew up in Dubai, came to Dubai in 1987. Grew up until I was in grade 2. I schooled in Dubai. And I've been visiting Dubai every 3 months since then because my dad was working in Dubai. So I got into real estate just after COVID. I was working in Sri Lanka in the construction sector. I started my career as a site supervisor and then was also studying quantity surveying. So I am, alhamdulillah, professionally a quantity surveyor by profession. And once I came here in COVID, I was looking for a job in my field at the construction industry. But due to the economic situation during that time and just after COVID, the construction sector was quite down. So it was a bit hard for me to find a job in my field. So alhamdulillah, few of my friends advised me to get into real estate. So that made me start my career in real estate. And it's almost been 3 years in the industry and it's been going well.
Thank you. Thank you for your share. My first question to you, Arshad, that what made you to choose a career in real estate and real estate in Dubai, UAE?
So what made me really choose a career in real estate is I have a passion in construction. I used to, since my young age, I used to go to construction sites because my dad had built a building in Sri Lanka. So I used to help my mom visit the site and supervise the work. So I used to have a passion being in sites. And then I knew construction was an industry where investors can also make money. So what I saw is was working in a cycle where I have been from a site supervisor and seen how engineers and architects work. So what I noticed in this cycle, if you really see the real estate agent being in the end of the cycle, he sometimes makes more money than an engineer. So I just knew that in sales, sky is the limit, but I have not been in sales before that. But it was a challenge and I took it.
Yeah. And here what I see is you are passionate and this came from your father, as you said, because he made a building and then you used to visit during your childhood. Can you see it was already there in you, which came as a career as you're pursuing this dream. So how come this came in your mind to do the real estate in Dubai?
So basically, since I grew up in Dubai, I
Hmm.
had a passion in this country, and so that was a career opportunity which I got to get into real estate. And then so I knew it was a challenging situation, because what happens in our industry initially, companies don't pay you. You have to sell for you to earn a commission. So what happens is, but alhamdulillah, I got a company where I'm currently in, where they for the first 6 months they supported me until I closed my first deal. So that was a great support in this
Yeah.
industry.
So, yes, for the audience also, company support, people support. That is what your one of the thing which I see is very important for all the viewers here, as we are here, that support really helps. My second question to you is that Dubai has seen a very impressive growth in real estate. So, what are the key drivers behind this growth? And as a real estate agent, what is your prediction for the upcoming 5 to 10 years as you see how real estate is going to be in Dubai?
It's a great question. So one of the first key factors I see in Dubai and UAE as a whole is the stability in leadership. That has really helped the country have a vision and work on its vision.
Yeah.
So whereas when you compare other countries, due to political influences, when leadership changes, the country's development also changes. So if we have a corrupted leadership, the country falls down. So whereas in Dubai, Alhamdulillah, Sheikh Mohammed and his father, they have worked on a vision, and they are able to practicalize, like, they have a aim, they have a vision on a project, and then they are able to implement it and see that it is successful. So you can see, for example, downtown, uh, for an example, how it has developed to a being a great city in Dubai. So that has helped the real estate market flourish. So investors also know when a project is being planned, they are able to get it implemented, and you can see the returns from it. So investors have, for the past 25 years, investors have seen the appreciation of projects and what returns they have got, and that also attracts more investors to come in and invest here, because being a stable economy, stable political situation, the risk factor on investors putting money in Dubai is very low, whereas putting a money in an unstable country is very investors don't want to do it. So I see that as a major factor which has helped us as real estate agents to sell properties with confidence to investors.
Yeah. This is really very true, and audience will agree with me that the government, the governance here, and the whole management of Sheikh Mohammed is really a visionary approach, and it is so much people centric that yes, the investors, you are right, they are benefiting a lot. The rules and the structures are in a way to benefit people. But I want to ask you, like the people are getting golden visa also. Can you throw some light? This is so important.
So basically, the golden visa has helped Dubai real estate a lot, because international investors are looking for a second home, and Dubai has been an area, a country, UAE as a whole, having the best safety, and standard of living is quite high. So a lot of people are being migrating to Dubai. And with my experience as a real estate agent within the last 1 year, especially after COVID, we see a lot of international inquiries directly coming in. So there are people from some countries, they want to sell their property back in their country and invest it here. And we see the golden visa having a major hype. I recently had a conversation with a representative from a major developer. He was informing us that currently in the applicants for the golden visa, there are almost 2 million people who are in the waiting list. So that shows the number of people who want to get the golden visa and who want to come and settle in this country. So that itself is a sign that there is so much demand for properties, because when the population increases, they need a place to stay. So with this current rate of developments happening in Dubai, it's going to help the people to have a location to live in. Because if you rarely see in Dubai buildings empty without people living in. So the other major reason, if you want to see why rents have been going up in Dubai, there have been more people coming in. So it's basically demand versus supply. If there was no demand for apartments and places for rent, the rents won't go up because there are people who are able to come and pay a higher rent and live in. So it's going with it's increasing with a valid cost where people, especially from abroad, they are willing to pay and settle in a good place.
Which is the country who is mostly you are seeing investing in Dubai, UAE?
Yeah. So if you see the past track records, you see number one, India has been one of the major India being one of the major investors who are investing in. And if you see in the European region, you see Germany, Britain, France,
Britain.
they are major investors who are basically from Britain. You can see a lot of people migrating. They're migrating to live in Dubai. So that's a major sign to show that Dubai has a good standard of living for people to come and settle in this country.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. My third question to you is that as an investor, there is a short term flipping and there is a long term investment gain. So, how do I decide as an investor? Like, what should I go for? What is your suggestion?
So, normally when we speak to a client, we see how what's the investment amount they want to put in and what type of return are they looking at. So, normally when we deal with businessmen, they want to see that they get a return fast, because if they invest that same money in a business, they get a quick return. So, but whereas real estate, you need to wait until the property matures, especially if it's an off-plan project. You need to wait at least till the construction has started, at least 1.5 years from inception of the project. So for businessmen, they normally go for flipping of properties. But whereas when you have end users or people who are working for a company, like they're getting a fixed income, then they go for a more long term investment. Mostly they either go for mortgage, where they buy a ready property, and then either it's for an end use, or they give it on rent and earn and see that their installments for the loan is paid through the rent.
Thank you so much. And this helps the audience because the flipping word is I am seeing in so many posts and sharing and training. So you have explained it so well. My fourth question to you is that the Dubai rentals, how do you compare it with the London and the New York market? And how does Dubai rental stand out?
So when you see Dubai as a whole, when you compare the return on investment, Dubai has a good return on investment. It's between at least 6 to 8% on average you can earn. Whereas when you compare New York and London, it's between 3 to 4% the net return from rental returns what you gain. So Dubai is giving a good rental return, and investors also benefit because the income is not being taxed. Whereas in European countries, your income from real estate is being taxed.
So, my fifth question to you is what are the strategies that you use for investors who are coming with you to minimize the risk and maximize the returns?
Yeah. So number one, we look at the location. How prominent is the location for the investment, and in the future, do you see more growth there, and is there a tendency of the property appreciating?
True.
Because when you invest in an area which is already reached its maximum price, okay, there will be an appreciation, but the appreciation won't be great. But when you invest on a project, especially when you take an off-plan project, when it's a master community, when you invest on the inception stage, that's when it's a good buy. And then after 5, 6, 7 years, you can see the fruits of it. Property would have appreciated well. And then number two is going with the right developer. So the developer makes a big say, especially in the real estate in UAE, because when you work with a master developer, who has well proven track records. Like example, if you see downtown, Dubai Hills, Marina, you have seen especially MR, they have the capacity to do projects capacity to do projects like a city. There's no other developer in the world who can make cities like this. So you're buying a property in a city, which in it might take 7 to 10 years for it to be completed as a whole. But then each time when new developments happen in it, for example, if you see Dubai Hills, once the mall was completed, properties appreciated more. So when an amenity in a community is being developed and completed, then that also helps in the improvement of the appreciation of the property. And number three is you have to see the demand in the secondary market, whether because in every investment there's a stage where you will need to exit. So when you want to exit, you will have to see whether it has a demand, whether you can sell it fast, and how is the pricing in the secondary market. So all this helps in choosing the right investment.
Can you name the developers who you work with?
Yeah, so I basically advise investors to work with developers who have a good track record. If you see uh, for the last 10 years, how have their developments been, and are they managing the community well, and do you see an appreciation in their properties? So that helps in a client investor to choose the right developer. And I always recommend to go with the government backed developers such as MR, Nakil, Dubai Properties, Wasl. They have been having a good reputation in the market since the time of inception of Dubai real estate. If you see a plot of land with a house, it can be transferred from generation to generation. What I see with competition is it helps me to improve myself more.
What do you think about your work life balance?
You need to have a strategy.
What are the 3 mistakes you would like to share with people for them to avoid?
Number one is I see that sometimes agents they pressurize the client to go and invest on a property.